So right now I am explaining to all of you the Rline kit. Okay, so this comprises of 4 conical drills, 4 parallel drills, 4 expansion screws and 2 drivers. There are some free slots available here, which is an optional upgrade, which we'll discuss later on. Dr. Chaitali, just keep those optional drivers ready for discussion. Okay, and there is a ratchet. So let's go to each of this separately. So the conical drill starts with 2.0. We call it 2.0, but precisely if you say it is 1.8, but for remembering it becomes easier for us to just remember 2.0 and 2.5. So always while using the word I use it that way, but if someone wants an exact precision, it is 1.8 diameter drill, which is mentioned on the box, and it comprises of 2 lengths, the long one and the short one. So the long is basically 30 mm and the short is basically 20 mm. The drill has the markings on it, okay, which become more clear when the drill is spinning. Always it is always like that. For any drill, when it starts spinning, the markings become more clear. Okay, to know the length of the markings, you can use this scale which is over here, or you can use any scale, standard scale, and just measure it in your hand also. Then you have the 2.6 mm drill, long and short conical drill, and you have the long and short twist drill 2.0 and the long and short 2.6 twist drill. So the drilling protocol for the maxilla is 2 mm conical drill and if required 2.6 mm twist drill. Now most of the times the twist drill you may have to go only halfway, which means that if your implant is of 14 mm, the twist drill is used only to open the coronal part, so you just need to put it halfway most of the times. In the mandible, your drilling protocol will be your 1.8 mm conical drill and 2.0 mm twist drill. Most of your cases you will finish only with your 2 mm conical drill. If you want coronal opening of your first cortical, then in maxilla you use 2.6, in mandible you use 2.0.
So this twist drill is both for BCS and QS?
For both, for BCS as well as QS, protocol is same, what I'm mentioning right now. Okay. Hello. Yeah. So as far as drills are concerned, I hope it is clear to all of you. Coming to the bone expansion screw, which is an optional step, more so required for placing a compressive implant. So when we place a KOS implant, what happens is when you drill with a 1.8 mm drill and you intend to place a 3.75 KOS implant, there's big jump from what you have drilled to what you're placing, and sometimes you end up squeezing the bone too much while trying to place a compressive implant. So what you can do is you use a 3 mm expansion screw till your full length of desired implant, and then you place the implant. So what will happen is 2 mm drill, 3 mm expansion screw, so the bone will expand, again it will settle down a bit, and then you place your implant. So that way you are not squeezing the bone too much randomly or sporadically. So bone expansion screw, as far as the company is giving, they are giving 4 screws, diameter 3 and diameter 3.5. But for all practical, long and short, but for all practical purposes we are using diameter 3 only. This is the ratchet driver. Okay, so how to use the ratchet driver, especially for the newcomers? If you see here, the NCM or the torque is written here, so it mentions 10, 20, 30, 40, 60, 70, 80 and so on. So this black line which is there, okay, when I turn this, if you see carefully, the black line is moving inside. So what I do is I always keep it at 45 NCM. I keep it at 45 NCM. Now when in is written and I'm using my driver, so there are two drivers, long and short. Okay, are you when I'm using my driver, okay, you can hear this noise which indicates to me that the implant is getting driven in. Whenever you reach, someone was asking how do we know what is the torque achieved? This is called breaking of ratchet. So when the ratchet breaks, that means you have achieved 45 NCM. Okay, if you want that the ratchet, you want to use it as a torque range, so this is called a torque range. If you want to use it as a ratchet, which means you don't want to see the numerical reading, the simplest idea is you hold it here and ratchet. In that case it will not break. So other way of doing it is from 45 you keep increasing, so then it will not break and you can keep moving ahead. So either use it as a torque range or use it as a ratchet. Okay, when you use as a torque range, obviously you will come to know the torque you have achieved. If you use it as a ratchet, you don't come to know what torque you have achieved. If you want to get the implant out for whatever reasons, then you just need to switch this, put it back in reverse. So now out is facing you, so whatever is facing you, that is what is happening. Make sure that when you are doing this, you hold your finger on this ring and then do the activity like this. If you don't hold the finger, this ring sometimes keeps moving. Now why two rings are given here is the company has given the option of changing the ring in case you want to use the bone expansion screw and ratchet it. So I can place it on my bone expansion screw and ratchet the bone expansion screw also. That is why two rings are given, just in case you want to use it for your bone expansion screw. Another two optional drivers which are there. Okay, this, as I already mentioned, the single piece implant with multi-unit. There are two drivers available. There are two collars available. So this is for collar 3 mm, this is for collar 1.5 mm. In case someone wants to use the single piece implant with multi-unit. I hope now drilling protocol and kit is clear for Rline.